Good afternoon. I am here to do Journal Article 3, Engaging in Anti-Racism, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in Practice. So this is really important in the field that I work in, as well as all of the social work fields. I work in addiction services. So we have people that come to us from every race, every gender, every mobility, every culture. And I have to really understand that every client that I get comes from a different culture. And I have to use that information in my practice and in providing services to the clients. It's my responsibility, my job to be able to understand where a client comes from. Addiction, it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care who you are, where you come from, what walk of life you come from. It doesn't care about your socioeconomic background because, again, it doesn't discriminate. And since addiction just doesn't discriminate, neither should I. So we have had to make some adjustments where I work at to make sure that we are providing services that doesn't re-traumatize somebody due to their cultural background or due to maybe some of the experiences they've had in life due to possible racism or feelings of equity. There's a huge stigma behind addiction, and that equity piece comes into play. A lot of times, people don't feel like that person is worth anything. They have harmed a lot of people during their active addiction, and they have made some people very upset with them. And also, with that stigma attached to it, they feel like that person's just a junk or that person is just a an old drunk. Some of those stigmatizing words that come along with that. It's my job to help them to be able to change that vocabulary and know that that vocabulary is harmful. If they've heard that most of their life, then they start to believe that. So it's my job to help them change that vocabulary. And I feel like in changing that vocabulary, that goes along with this competency because we are teaching them that those things are lies, that that's not the truth. Um, and we're also teaching about the stigma behind and how to combat that. When I was talking about the changes, we've had to move more towards person centered language. I'm not going to go up to somebody and say, "Hi, I'm Tanya, I'm a schizophrenic," or "Hi, I'm Tanya, I'm bipolar." Because we also work with people with co occurring disorders. So we've had to change the language. It's not a person that, "Hi, I'm Tanya, I'm an addict." "Hi, I'm Tanya, I'm a person in long term recovery." And I feel like that goes with this competency. Um, right now in my field placement, um, whenever I do assessments, it's really important that I find out the culture that that client comes from. It's very important that I find out what their family history is, maybe what their religious background was or is currently. And if it's different from the one they grew up in, what's different today? Why did you change your your religious upbringing? What was there something there that caused you to want to change? And that helps me to understand who the person is. That helps me to engage in this competency, and it helps me to provide them services related to this competency in a manner that's not going to harm the client. I won't always be able to ensure no harm because of we learn as we go. But I can ensure the least amount of harm possible. And if harm does come up and it is relayed to us, we can change the way we deliver a method. We had a help that uh, required the client to work community based service. So the community would give these types of help, which is very old fashioned, where they would give the help of having to pack everything in a suitcase and carry that around for a week. Um, due to maybe they were leaving things around because we're an accountability based program as well. So our clients hold each other accountable. And one of the helps that was given is they had to pack around the suitcase all week long with their belongings in it that they needed for the week. Well, it came to our attention that we had harmed a client because that client had been homeless for a numerous amount of years, and it ended up re-traumatizing the client. So we had to look at that, and we had to take away that option to be able to get that help because of, again, it was very old fashioned and it did re-traumatize that person. So we had to make sure that we were making that person feel safe and included. Um, so I feel like I have gotten a lot better at identifying my biases. I grew up in a home that did not include much diversity. I grew up in an environment that I didn't really interact with people from a diverse background. Um, and through going to school and getting older and becoming more educated, I've been able to identify a lot more of my biases and things that maybe I didn't know it sounded like a racist remark. I wasn't aware of that at the time. So I had to retrain my way of thinking and be able to identify those biases and change them. So that's one of my strengths actually in this competency is being able to identify that bias and being able to provide services to individuals, knowing that they're a person, they're not a label, they're a person. We've also had to make accommodations whenever we got our accreditations to accommodate for individuals with handicaps, and we now are 80 approved, ADEI or ADEI. Um, and we did that a couple of years ago because I do have a work site placement and I've been there for almost 8 years now. So we did have to accommodate to make sure that everybody was able to receive services from us. Um, So, like I was talking about before, my experiences has challenged me, and it's helped me grow as a master's social worker, a master's level social worker, and just understanding the background that I came from and how difficult it is to change one's belief system. As our experiences they equal our belief system, and I did have a lot of experiences growing up that were not very inclusive of other people from other races, of people from other cultural backgrounds. I only knew people that were from the same background as I am. Um, And when it comes to the self care, I am still struggling with self care. I'm trying to do a little bit better and trying to make sure that I take a little bit of time for myself, especially on the weekends when I'm not working. Even though I do bring work on with me on the weekends, I still try to take a couple of hours out of the day. Or even a couple minutes of the day to be able to take some time for me and my family. Tonight, I'm making homemade enchiladas. So that's my self care tonight. I know that I'll still be cooking, and some people see cooking as work, but I really do enjoy it. It gives me a sense of accomplishment and peace, and knowing that I'm providing something for my family that they like. So that's becoming more and more part of my self care is cooking at home. I do anticipate some barriers to self care. It is coming towards the end of the year, so I do have a lot of new work related tasks that I have to get done before the beginning of the year. Um, this semester is wrapping up, and I'll be starting a new semester in January. So that that little bit of time in December is gonna help out a lot. Even though December will put a little bit more stress because it is Christmas time. I've recently found out that my dad is really sick, so that's putting a little bit of stress on me as well. And that may impact my self care at times. Um, but my plan is to continue with making sure that I'm cooking at least 2 to 3 times a week. and on the weekends, and making sure that I'm taking a little bit of breathing time at work in small increments when I'm able to. All right. You have a great rest of your night. Thank you.